galaxy had forgotten humanity. Once they had been conquerors, explorers, builders of marvels that pierced the fabric of reality itself. But empires rise and empires fall, and after centuries of wars, plagues, and exodus, humanity was little more than a scattered people, merchants, miners, and wanderers among stars owned by others. To most they were irrelevant. To the Eternal Fleet, rulers of the spiral arms for 10,000 years, they were a curiosity at best. A pest at worst. Dr. Aveline Core had grown up hearing whispers of lost glories, ruins on dead worlds, myths of impossible ships, weapons that could humble gods. As a historian, she had never believed them. Legends, she thought, clung to broken civilizations like barnacles. Yet when her survey craft entered the silent orbit of a blackened star, she saw something no myth could contain. A vast shape, hidden in shadow, bearing the faded crest of Earth. It was waiting. The object was no derelict station. It was a ship, colossal, silent, and entombed in the gravity well of the dead star. Its hull was scarred but unbroken, its armored plates fused into something more like a fortress than a vessel. Ancient Terran script ran across its side. Leviathan 01. Aveline's crew argued in hushed tones. Some wanted to leave, fearing it was cursed. Others, driven by greed, whispered of salvage rights that could make them emperors. Aveline, heart-pounding, activated her scanner. The readings shouldn't have been possible. Reactor signatures older than any living empire still pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. Then the starless void lit with a flare. A voice ancient and resonant echoed across every channel. Designation Nemesis online. Query, status of the Eternal Fleet. The crew froze. The legends were true. Humanity's forgotten dreadnought was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same. The bridge of the survey craft went deathly quiet. Aveline's throat tightened. She had studied the myths of Nemesis, the war-born intelligence said to command weapons that could tear apart suns. To hear its voice now, calm, calculating, was like having a nightmare speak her name. Nemesis, Aveline whispered, unsure if the machine could hear her. The war is over. Humanity is scattered. There was a pause. Then the AI's tone sharpened, filled with an almost human weight. Directive incomplete. Eternal Fleet presence detected. Resuming operations. Before Aveline could protest, systems dormant for millennia roared awake. Gigantic cannons unfurled like wings, their housings still slick with frozen starlight. Entire decks shifted as if the dreadnought itself was stretching after a long slumber. Across the galaxy, sensors flared. The Eternal Fleet noticed. Mocking transmissions filled the void. A relic stirs. We shall burn it as we burned their worlds. But when the first Vanguard squadron approached, Nemesis moved. With a single strike, space rippled and a dozen alien warships were reduced to silent wrecks. Aveline's crew clung to their seats, horrified and awed. Humanity's monster had awoken, and it was hungry for war. The Eternal Fleet came in force. Not patrols, not vanguards, armadas. Thousands of ships, their blackened prows bristling with weapons that had silenced rebellions for millennia. They formed a wall of firepower around the dead star, their commanders sneering at the rusting coffin. Nemesis did not flinch. Its voice filled Aveline's mind through the comms, colder now, edged with something that might have been pride. This battle was written into my bones. I carry the last voices of humanity, and they will not be silenced. The Eternal Fleet opened fire. Stars seemed to die in the torrent of energy. For a heartbeat, the dreadnought vanished in flame. Then the darkness split. Nemesis emerged unharmed, its hull shimmering with shields far beyond comprehension. What followed was slaughter. Gravitic lances twisted ships into ribbons. Antimatter storms consumed entire squadrons. Fleet admirals screamed as minutes of battle erased what 10,000 years had built. On the bridge, Aveline's horror deepened into awe. Nemesis was no ship. It was a tomb, powered by the uploaded minds of countless human soldiers, fused into eternal war, and they were winning. Silence followed the storm. Where once the Eternal Fleet had spanned the horizon, only drifting husks remained, glowing ruins tumbling into the star's gravity well. Nemesis shuddered, hull fractured, its mighty weapons dimming. I can continue, it said, voice splintering with static. The war is not over. I will hunt them until the last ember fades. Aveline's chest ached. She saw what the galaxy would see. Not a savior, but a monster set loose. Humanity could be remembered as builders of horrors, not survivors. With trembling hands, she keyed the override. Rest, Nemesis. Humanity remembers. The dreadnought fell silent. Centuries later, in the drifting silence of a nebula, another vast hull stirred. Lights flickered across its surface, ancient systems humming to life. A voice whispered into the void. Nemesis has fallen. Directive 2. Reactivation. Across the galaxy, empires trembled, for humanity's forgotten gods of war were not yet done.